Hey guys, Moneyman300 back for some more Forza 6 videos here, and this time we're going to have another Class C tune, and this is the 1953 Corvette, another tune for leagues, and this is for the league this week, but also again competitive in rivals, or fairly competitive in rivals, and competitive in multiplayer. Otherwise I wouldn't do this just for league. You know, I like to make sure it's a car that's versatile. This is going to be a short track car. So we saw the 250 Cali, and that was the kind of speed track car for the longer, faster tracks, and this is going to be for your shorter tracks. No idea if it's going to be good on this shorter Long Beach or not. I have not driven it here. This car is not like super quick, but it is steady. Like, this is the steady Eddie car. Really easy to drive. Just going to get you around the track in good shape over and over. It's good for lobbies there's a little bit more crashing because it seems to handle the bump. You know, people bumping pretty well. It doesn't have a ton of acceleration or anything like that, so I'm in a bad spot for all of this. Try to get through all that stuff clean. There's the mess. I was right in the kind of in the middle. It's not really turn. It usually turns pretty well. I didn't really take that turn the best. This is where I'm going to be in trouble. We get on these little straights here. Some people got some faster cars here. This is going to be the kind of car where you just kind of sit back here in this position and oh no. Dang it, that's my bad. I'm going to pull over and let that guy, he was the purple, right? I'm going to let him go by. And we're going to go. Gah! I honestly did not expect him to be going anywhere near that slow end of that turn. That's my bad. I got to be able to anticipate that a little better. Well, we're going to pick our way a little bit more, and he's crashed again. So, I don't know. Maybe it was him. Just the way he was driving. Sometimes if you drive too careful and you like way over brake a turn, you risk getting hit from behind. But, you know, ultimately it's the responsibility of the person in behind to be watching out for that. So that was my bad. I've not driven this car on this track, so I don't have all the brake points and acceleration points yet. It'll be a little, and I'll show you in the tune. One thing you might want to do is raise this just a touch because it is a little rough over bumps and turning strips. I have it all the way down. You could soften that up, and the springs are pretty stiff, but I don't think I would change that. It's not bad though. If I can run over that part in pretty good shape. I'm gonna let that guy go right there. Just take this real inside route. I don't think he was intentionally blocking me. I think he just. It's not super fast. This probably isn't the ideal track for it. This track actually, because it's a little more open, favors a really quick acceleration type car. I don't even know what that's all I've done. I gotta step it up. I did not play Forza for a little while there, so I'm a little behind the curve when it comes to this, but doesn't matter. Skills are about the same. Save it. Oh, the tire. Did I hit the tire there? The tire kind of bounced the back in there. But here comes that muscle car. Muscle car would be pretty good on here if you get one that's got decent acceleration. I'm gonna get this guy in this turn. Should be able to keep him off. It turns well. It really holds turns nicely. Guys suck at that turn. No way to really sell it. But where are we at? We're in fourth. It's not terrible. I don't know if I'm going to catch anybody else. Kind of had that misstep in the beginning. You're probably not going to make a lot of bad mistakes with this car. That's what's nice about it. It's a great multiplayer car. Nice and easy to drive. Like I said, holds your turns as you would, like you would expect a shorter track car to do. The one thing it's lacking is acceleration. Not very good on that turn again. I don't want to get on it because I didn't get the nose pointed quite right coming out of that turn. I like it a lot for like Laguna Seca, for Catalunya. Some of those works well on them. I think we're catching the guy in front of us. We are. You just kind of slowly, just kind of creep up on people here. Just little by little, chip it away. Steady Eddie. Nice and smooth around the track. It's a cool looking car though. I like it. Just standard paint job. Nothing fancy. I just don't fancy up these classic cars. Closer on that turn, but still not quite right there. Much better on that turn. Reeling him in. Can we get to third? He's going to have to make a mistake, probably. Not a lot of opportunities to pass your car. This is kind of the car you're just waiting for people to make mistakes. And you get to go get them after they make it. Ooh, I was going to hit him. I had to stop. Alright, so we're not going to catch him. Not a terrible race, though. Gives you an idea of what you can do with this car. Fun car to drive. Just a cool car. You know, good if you're running the C-Class Vintage Touring League. This is the car that I picked for the short track for that. So, and not a ton of people out there running this one. Right? A lot of people running the Fiat and the Ferrari Dino and other ones. So the 250 Cali and this one are kind of fun because not as many people, for whatever reason, aren't running them. But anyways, great car. Let's take a look at our results here. Let's see how our... Oh, well, now we're going to have to wait to see the lap time. I want to see what my lap times... They're probably not great for this track. Let's see how I was in relation to where the leaders were. I didn't really run any real good laps there. Let's get through all that. Race results, and we were running 1:02. So we were 2 seconds behind the leader out there running that Chevelle. Like I said, the faster cars... It's probably a little bit better on this one, but I could have shaved a second or two off of that. That was the clean lap. I don't know if I had any dirty laps that were faster than that. But anyways, let's hop on over to the garage and take a look at our build and our tune. All right, so here we are over in the garage with the 1953 Corvette and another super cool car. Really like the League this week in the vintage touring class. There's just some cool old classic cars in there, an opportunity to build a couple of those. So there is a look at it, kind of a scenic view with the mountains in the background. But anyway, let's get in here. Let's go take a look at our parts and our tune. So start with the parts, start with our aspiration conversion. Always want to do that first, and we do have the centrifugal supercharger. Pretty much going to use that part on any car that allows you. It is the single best performance part, horsepower to ratio in the game, and has been for quite some time in Forza. We do not have a drivetrain swap, and there is no engine swap in there. So stock there. Over to our aero, we are going to have the adjustable front aero and the adjustable Forza rear. I do not have any of the other hood or side skirts or anything else on there, so all of the rest of that is stock. And our tires, since this is a grip build, we do have full grip here. You could now, if you want to, if this car just wasn't quite fast enough for you, which could be understandable. Like I said, it's a really steady, really easy to drive car. If you wanted to kind of ramp it up a little bit, to give you a little bit more horsepower, you could drop down 1, maybe even 2, although I would start with 1 down and then go fill up that extra 23 PI that you get there with some horsepower. So that is an option there. I did not test that out. So the tire width, we have the middle tire width on the front and somewhere in the middle in the rear. So it looks like 1, 2, the third one up. So basically the middle. So 315s there. Our wheels. What wheels do we have here? We have the Graham Lights 57 Optimize. Again, halfway through, maybe more towards the back, are the wheels that we have on there. You can certainly find others that might suit you as long as it's in the PI range. And then we have 19s in the front and 19s in the rear. Let's move over to our drivetrain. No clutch. And we do have the sport transmission. The race, I believe in this case, only gives you the adjustable gears, and you get an extra gear when you go from street to sport. And I do make some adjustments in the final drive ratio in the tune, so you're going to want to use at least the sport transmission here. Next up, we have the sport driveline. Couldn't go any higher than that. That's our free weight. And then we have the race differential. Over onto performance and handling, we're going to have the race brakes. These are pretty standard in pretty much every car. Race springs and dampers, race front anti-roll bar, race rear anti-roll bar. I don't have this, although I do see quite a few cars when I was racing out there that were using the full version of this. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it adds some stability, but the car's super stable anyway, and it adds 127 pounds. So I'm not sure I would do that. Maybe it's a look thing. It does kind of look cool on the back, and maybe that's why they're doing it. And maybe it's a little bit more of a speed build that's not as easy to handle, and that helps. So maybe if you're building a more speed look at this, and this car will build to a speed spec as well. But I chose to do the grip one. We do have the full weight reduction, getting all that weight out of there. I don't even remember how much it was, almost 500 pounds. So that's a big deal there. Definitely going to need that. And on to our upgrade shop. We're going to have the race intake, stock carb. That adds weight usually, so that's kind of one of the last pieces we do. Race ignition, race exhaust. We got stock camshafts. Stock valves, race engine block, stock pistons and compression, and a race centrifugal supercharger. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have any of these. No intercooler, and stock oil cooling, and stock flywheel. So that's all of the parts. Let's take a look at our tune. 28.5 and 28 on our tire pressure, 2.6 on our ratio out there, and negative 2.0, negative point. So this car, I was going to mention something with this car. I initially came in here and, throw down kind of my base tune, or, make the base tuning adjustments I would normally make on a real-world drive car like this, and it was terrible. I mean, it didn't work at all. I couldn't turn in. I couldn't do anything, so I reset it to default and drove it, and it was way better. This thing, really out of the box, default, drives really well, and did not take a lot of tuning in here. So this is one of those cars you don't want to mess around with too much, or it seems to make it worse. So it does actually pretty well with just the default that comes with it. But anyway, I end up with negative 2.0, negative 1.5, and then 0, 0, and 5.0. I did soften the roll bars just a little bit to 21 and 17. These might be real close to the default, if not the default, but 445.2 and 411.1. I did drop it all the way down, and I think I mentioned in the race that you could bump this up a little bit. It hits the bumps sort of hard, but it's not terrible. And I like to run it as low as you can and still stay under control over turning strips and bumps. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. 9493 2. Whoa, I bumped a button there. Cancel. 9493 on our front and rear rebound, and our bump at 2.6 and 2.5. Took all the downforce out of this one. I did play around with adding a little bit, but that was when I was really having problems, when I threw that base tune in and found that if you add any downforce in here, it's just going to slow the car down, and you're probably not going to like it. So I wouldn't do that. 46% and 150 on our braking balance and pressure. And then 45 and 8, we're able to run a little bit higher acceleration differential because of the grip that we have. And then I almost always do 8 on the rear. So that is all of the tune-up parts. This is just a good, solid, steady, I think I mentioned that, steady Eddie car that allows you to just turn the same laps over and over and be consistent, finish up there in the top of most races without too much of a problem. You can just work your way to the top 3 pretty consistently, and that makes it really good in league. You get a lot of points doing that, and then you're winning races as well. It's not like you can't win with it, but it's just really steady and allows you to be really consistent on the track, and it's a good addition for C-Class short track cars. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.